hero is one who has given his life to something bigger than oneself. What an ideal quote to start today's session with this particular quote. Welcome to another truly inspiring episode of Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass. Today on our show, we have with us a well-known personality who proposed the idea of having banners around the city to create awareness in the local language Kannada when we were struck by the pandemic COVID-19. The renowned person was the one who encouraged the use of masks and stressed how important it was to sanitize whilst maintaining social distancing. Yes, my friends, this prominent personality managed a record 82 protests in a month, and during the anti-CAA protests, the person is not just a hero in the society but also among the constables. I am ecstatic to announce the presence of police officer Bhaskar Rao, who brought out a set of guidelines to handle the pandemic by appealing to all merchants association and instructed teams to convert marriage halls to shelters for COVID positive patients. Welcome to the show, Officer Mr. Bhaskar Rao.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very much.
I am honored to be on your show.
It's not always that police and doctors get together and also smile.
We live together. My wife is a doctor. And my daughter is also a doctor. My son-in-law is also a doctor.
So we are always in the midst. While on one side we guard the society, on the other side we protect their health. So looking at this, sir, I would like to tell you that why did I select you on this show was because that there is a very human face of a police officer. I've always looked at police officers with a lathi and khaki, and the lathi khaki kind of approach does not work anymore. And I've always seen you that the one thing that you see the gentleman in a police officer is when you have a thing like a pandemic. Many people understood what was pandemic, many people understood what was hygiene, and then you had a police at the helm of everything and a politician who didn't know anything. So therefore you had a free hand in trying to control this. So I felt that the way you did it and had doctors to support you, and this was the first time that I found that the police listened to the doctors and actually executed it, and that's why it was so good. The COVID first wave, believe me, the credit goes to you. So I would say, yes, I think that the medical community owes you a big thank you, and so also the public here. So given that that is what I would like to say, that over 22 lakh viewers who are seeing this show will also join me in saying a big thank you to you. So having said that, what did you think of this pandemic when it occurred? Did you think it was so big?
Madam, I'll tell you, when the Chief Minister convened a meeting in the month of February, that there is a disease, and the health department and the rural development department etc. came, and Neelmani Raju madam was our Director General of Police. So she was asked to come to this meeting, and she told me, you go and attend this meeting. I said, what have I got to do with a health and disease related meeting? So I sent my junior Deputy Commissioner of Police, Nisha James and Isha Pant, you go and attend this meeting on my behalf over there. Then it was not just a reaction to what was going on globally, because from December, January onwards we were seeing how China was battling COVID and how the police was being ruthlessly or rather brutally being used to seal doors and beating up people and making them keep indoors. We thought such a situation will never come to India, and we are very far away from all these things over there. Then whatever happens in government has, after decisions are taken either in the cabinet or under the chief secretary or in respective secretary, has to get translated into action. and action means police has to be at the forefront of that over there. So the first thing that came at that point of time was screening air passengers over there, and then we got a message from Government of India that the central paramilitary organization, that is BSF etc., are going to be kept as quarantine zones where people will land from other country and will be kept there. So protests started in Yelahanka saying that we don't want the disease to come out to our doorstep. We had no idea how the disease is going to consume us, but then we don't want. So that was the first step that we said this coronavirus disease 19, COVID-19 has to be dealt with by the police to disperse the protesters, because some people are going to be given quarantine facility. Then calls started coming to me from Air India staff that such and such air hostess, such and such pilots are not being allowed in their apartments, because the apartment association owners are saying we cannot allow you to come inside because you went into and brought passengers, or you are going to be infected. Till then, by that time it was already third week of February, or the 1st and 2nd of March. I was supposed to go to London for a conference of police officers over there. I got a call from Delhi, because at that point of time there were communal riots in Delhi. You remember the Northwest?
Yes, absolutely.
And that the similar thing may happen. COVID is there. You don't know. Okay, there is a riot, fine, but for COVID, how you hold a police officer responsible at all? Not allowed. I was very upset that all my program, with very great difficulty, means I was invited, preparations, and don't go. Then the disease started making more and more inroads thanks to media and social media. Then when the first meeting was chaired by the Honorable Home Minister, he and the Health Minister said that this is coming closer and closer, and when these people who were quarantined, who came from other places over there, our biggest job was to send them to different hotels over there, and then they put some seal and that police is going to look for that. Means initial days I found it very silly that why am I being involved in all these things? This is not my job. This is the health department job. This is the doctor's job. But we had a very good equation with the doctors over there. So corporation, municipal doctors, and then the bureaucrats who were part of the health department over there. So we were going from house to house wherever these people were there for this stamping, to ensure that they don't loiter around over there. People would coming with all kind of ridiculous ideas. I said, you must give a selfie and send. I said, see, don't come up with foolish ideas and ask police to implement all these things over there, because our hands are full with a lot of other things. This is something unrelated to us and you are trying to give us these things over there. Then these people, the disease was not brought by poor people or by marginalized people. This disease was brought inside the country by rich and well-to-do people who were in other countries, whom we brought by aeroplanes, some of them free of cost, kept them in expensive hotels, we fed them and took care of them, and then they said we sent them home. Some said we want to be home quarantine, and home quarantine, you know what kind of discipline they maintained. We were tasked to see that they are kept at home. Means you can't keep people some people had small houses also over there. Means they would loiter around. Then they said, okay, wherever you see a person, so we had to catch those people over there. Then the Government of India, they held said the Epidemic Act is being passed. So that is going to empower you to do. So I need some provisions to catch people with this seal, no? So I had no provision. Then after the Epidemic Act was passed, we got hold of the people and then brought them, warned them, sent them back, and our people used to be extremely confused. Health worker kelsa anta. But I'll tell you, madam, then the number started increasing. So we said that, see, we are going to be the first affected persons here. So all police stations, in fact at the back my wife played a very important role, said, see, the only way is to have mask up and wash your hands and maintain social distance. She told me, because she has seen number of these kind of, because being a medical, like plague and that bird flu etc. which came over there. So we started this washing hands in police station. Again my policemen were amused. Yeah, I'm a commissioner, helkodbeka nam kai tolkobeku anta. Then I said maintain social distance over there. Then the first meeting, first time when this video conference is taking place, Ida Martin, our SP in Gulbarga, wore a mask and sat in a meeting, and everybody had a laugh. Look at this fellow, he's wearing a mask. What is going to happen to him over there? I mean, that was 8th or 10th of March, I think, over there, 10th of March. Then the disease came like a tsunami from all directions, started coming over there. And then Basaraj Bommai, our Home Minister, took a meeting and he said, till then we were still, okay sir, I thought we'll wash hands, we'll keep a Dettol, we'll drink warm water, we will do all these things. And then he said, look, this is the way the pandemic is assuming its proportions over there. Finally, it is going to become a problem of the Home Department, that is the Police Department, so you be ready for this over there. So, with the benefit of advice of elders, such a low, plague, no, dead bodies were left unattended, nobody to cremate, police will have to cremate, means all kind of so when the Prime Minister addressed the nation saying that आप हमें अपना कुछ हफ्ते दे दीजिए, so that went to our head, that something very big is going to happen, which the Prime Minister has anticipated. So that I think 19th of March was the Janata Curfew Day. For us, when you have a Bandh from morning till evening, either for a Kannada Bandh or for a Kaveri Bandh or some Bandh over there, we make lot of preparations. We allow vegetable, newspapers, medicines, ambulances, etc. to come to. For a one-day Bandh, I have a half an hour, 1 hour meeting. I have to deploy forces over there. So this is going to be a voluntary Bandh over there. So when this Bandh, 19th Bandh was there, means it was a complete Bandh, which you recall called the Janata Curfew over there. Then disease was already increasing in several places, and then finally Prime Minister came on the 23rd at 8 o'clock in the night. He said, I am closing now the country for the next 3 weeks till the 3rd of May. The 3rd of May, the country is going to be closed down. At 8 o'clock in the night, I was watching TV with my additional commissioner, and then as soon as the Prime Minister's speech ended, I called my DG, Mr. Praveen Sood. He said, sir, you just come over to Vidhan Sabha. And the Chief Secretary, Mr. Vijay Bhaskar, was waiting for us over there. And then Additional Chief Secretary Home, and we immediately came. Then the CM also came over there. So 8:40, it was decided that from tomorrow morning, curfew is going to start over there. So they said that, okay, whoever has to be controlled, or the police department will control it over there. Means for me, see, normally Bandh I get 2 day, 3 day notice. For a 1 day Bandh, means keep the city closed for days together. Don't allow anybody to come. From tomorrow morning, trains will not run, aeroplanes will not run. Every district has to have a border over there. Means, so they said, then everybody looked at me, Bhaskara, whatever Bangalore does, rest of Karnataka is going to follow. You have to ensure that passes are issued. Now 9:30 already in the night, where can I print passes for next morning? How to go about all those things over? So the CM gave a very broad canvas saying that now you have heard the Prime Minister, just act. Thanks to Vijay Bhaskar, the Chief Secretary, whose phenomenal leadership skills and the facilitation given by my Director General of Police was tremendous to give. So after this, I told my gunmen that call all the DCPs at 1 o'clock in the night over there. So 1 o'clock in the night, all my 20 DCPs came in there. So after I finished this, I went back. By about 11 o'clock, I went home, had a quick dinner, called my additional CPs before, because I had to discuss what needs to. So passes had to be handled, person passes, vehicle passes, and then interacting with them. So the meeting started at about 1 o'clock till 4:30. So what pass has to be designed over there? Who is going to decide? And who is going to issue? If the Commissioner of Police decides to issue pass, next morning there will be a lack of people in front of my office. I said, I am going to decentralize. All the DCPs will issue passes. Who is going to monitor? I am not going to monitor. As Nimbalkar is a tough fellow, Hemant Nimbalkar, you handle the pass over there. So then we woke up around 3:30 in the morning. We called the ACP, go wake up these DTP guys over there. We called the DTP guys over there. 4 o'clock in the morning, he brought this one over there. 5 o'clock, he said, fine, then print now. So about 3 lakh passes were printed over there. Then 6 o'clock in the morning, I held a press conference. The whole night, he said, you are restricted. Only food stuff can come. You can come to shops over there. Social, how to maintain, means we had no idea. We said every shop will make this boxes over there. You have to stand in. These are all means I tell you, ideas were coming in the night as this discussion was going on over there. Everybody should keep sanitizers, etc. over there. So and then passes will be issued. So the next day from onwards, according to the Epidemic Act, so then what I did was that with my good friend B.G. Koshi, we within 2 days I convened a meeting of all the doctors. Our Dr. Devi Shetty was there, Dr. Ballal was there, and then Vikram Hospital, St. John's Hospital, Ramaya Hospital, Dr. Naresh Shetty. Means all these bigger hospitals, we said let us make a group. You please advise and what's going on. And along with that, Shashidhar Buggi from that chest and thoracic disease, then Victoria Hospital, Bowring Hospital over there. So once we had the doctors on board, we said, okay, we will handle inside the hospital, you handle outside the hospital, and government will do the facilitation over there. Means keeping 1.5 crore people indoors for a continuous period was a
huge task.
So every day we used to, and I was getting calls throughout the night from people from other parts of the world. My parents don't have maid, driver, nobody is there to feed them. Then somebody said, then Bangalore is full of philanthropy. Street dogs have to be fed, pet dogs have to be taken for a walk over there, and people had to go for dialysis. They had medical emergencies. They had then, of course, the doctors had closed, or elective surgeries were closed.
Absolutely.
So since the city had come to a standstill, crime just dropped. Crime became zero. All this theft, chain snatching, robbery, because everybody was at home over there. So I have about 265 Hoysala vehicles over there. We converted all the Hoysala vehicles into ambulances over there. And we said, then I put Isha Pant in charge of control room. Isha Pant did a phenomenal job of running the control room, so that anybody who wants help, call us, we will be there with them. And then we also did one random thing because confidence had to be created. You would see that after 4 or 5 days, people were getting restless, and this had to go for days together over there. Husband and wife were fighting over there. Senior citizens were being abused. Children were being beaten up over there. Neighbors were quarreling among themselves in apartments over there. I mean, this was an added problem, apart from ensuring that the streets are without people. And then we took a decision that government, a lot of decisions were coming from Government of India, like cargo vehicles should be allowed over there. No, don't trouble cargo vehicle. So all the food stuff which used to come from neighboring areas like milk, vegetables, etc., no pass. Come to APMC, from APMC to the shops over there. And then we said, okay, should we have restricted hours or should we have? So means some decisions used to itself take. I batted for a policy saying that keep the shops open from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the night, so that there is no overcrowding. This year they had restrictive, so you could see how social keep it open. See, you have to mentally relax people over there. If you put tension inside people, the fear of corona has killed more people than the corona itself it has killed over. That we realized over there. So all these people who had to go to hospitals, we had to, and then our job became a continuous. So we, since it was March, most of my policemen, they sent away their families back home. Then we converted all our police stations. I said, don't allow people to come in. So put Shamiana, and nobody should go inside the police station. Put dari and all these things, let people sleep. We engaged 1 or 2 Kalan mandaps over there and hotels for the girls, lady constables over there. And in the police station, we had food, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Since these 5-star hotels were closed, a lot of my enterprising DCPs got hold of cooks from 5-star hotels. So some of my DCPs like Bhima Shankar said, sir, please come for lunch to my police station over there. What's being cooked in the police station? Pasta, pizza is being cooked, because all the 5-star hotel cooks were there with us. So they had no job over there. And since I started it for my policemen, people started seeing that this is a place where breakfast, lunch and dinner is available and some cook is there. I started getting huge amount of donations, rice, dal, vegetables. So the police station became a langar. And then people had doubts. My marriage is there, I have to go for delivery. So then the pass system started becoming, people started duplicating passes and misusing passes. So immediately I requested Pratap Reddy, and with the help of Director General of Police, Pratap Reddy, our brilliant additional DG Law and Order, is very senior IPS officer. He brought the pass system in. Means it was an online, we didn't want people to say you apply pass online. So you won't believe, how many? 47 lakh people applied for a pass. It's as good as a city being kept open over there. So then we had to take a decision who should be given, who should not be given a pass over there. Then we opened counters. Incoming death, outgoing death, incoming birth, outgoing birth, incoming marriage, outgoing marriage. Because these things also had to be performed, because as you said, the human face has to be protected over there. People had to go for delivery to Andhra Pradesh or outside Bangalore. People had to come for delivery to Bangalore. People had to go out for death, they had to come inside for death. Actually, it was not COVID death. COVID deaths had not yet started till then.
Oh, okay.
Then the first COVID death which hit us was in Kalburgi, in the whole country, as you remember over there.
Okay.
So our people will say, obviously then all bacteria will die, but very soon that ego was punctured with people were there for feeding cows, people, and we fed the policemen apart from our dog squad, because dog squad was also of no use, because dog squad we were not moving the dog squad, neither was going. So our own dog squad was giving food to stray dogs.
Stray dogs.
We were giving food to pigeons because we didn't want people to. Then people said we are cooped up with the pets inside. Okay, you can walk with your pets. You cannot walk outside because people have got a habit of walking around. So we had to stop morning walkers also over there. And then people with frivolous reasons had to be stopped over there. And lot of people who wanted to go outside. One prominent trade union leader told me, Bhaskar, sir, put me in jail. I want to go to jail, because he used to go to jail frequently and come. He said, in this house, see, I am a widower. I have to listen to this daughter-in-law eat whatever food she gives. I have to know I can't read the newspaper. My son doesn't. I can't look at the TV because my grandson is watching the TV over there. Send me to jail. I'll be respected. Somebody will wash my clothes over there. Somebody will be. I can do some walking around over there. I have made this kind of requests. Give me some silly, stupid work outside your office. I'll come and work over there. But give me one pass so that I can come and. Then apart from that, we had cases. See, a lot of people started getting laid off for jobs over there. Some women were able to have jobs, men folk lost their jobs. So we got a call from a very, very classy place. The woman has hit her husband with a pressure cooker with 16 stitches over there. So when my lady DCP went, he said, look, this fellow, my husband, this fellow says this, my job is retained because I am sleeping with my boss. This fellow has lost his job over there. What kind of dirty accusations he is making in front of me over there? So he took the pressure cooker, and these men used to be sitting and drinking beer at home, whereas the woman would have had to go and come back and nothing would be. So we have a counseling center. We made it into 24-hour counseling center for families. Then we had a child counseling center. We had a senior citizen counseling center.
So which means that you really got into the depths of everything.
We had to go, ma'am, because otherwise more people would have killed each other than corona over there. And then after that, this was not. Then finally, tragedy it is, because our first person was hit by corona, one Fraser Town constable. Till then, we thought corona is not going to hit us at all over there. Then we decided that the best. In fact, for that, I went to Victoria Hospital. The doctor told me, "You please don't come inside over there. We'll treat him properly." So after about 8 or 9 days, he was. When he came out, I went to receive him, and we had made it a rule that any police constable is there, his inspector, his ACP and DCP will talk to them over there. But numbers also started. In fact, I have spoken to so many constables who were there in the hospital over there. How are you? Are you getting food properly? Because when cases started increasing, attention also of the doctors also started going down. And in the meanwhile, some of these irresponsible politicians, because that Markaz of Nizamuddin took place, people scattered everywhere. Said, no, you go and arrest these people, arrest that people over there. And then the minority was driven into one corner at that point of time. There was almost a communal problem over there. Thanks to our responsiveness, we avoided that, and people were hesitant to get quarantined also, because they thought quarantine something looks like very, very shameful over there, because whoever comes in contact over there. So 2-3 in that Padra and Pura, we were able to avoid a communal conflict over there. In between that, film star also died, Sarja.
That's true.
So, and then we had this cluster problems also over there, means who are mass spreaders. And then apart from that, rumor mongering, panic creation.
That was the worst.
Then so we had to ask Dayanand, who is now additional DG Intel. Dayanand was in CID. So we told Dayanand that you please start getting so we created a number that wherever you are getting faulted, start giving the correct version. So we had to fight fake news one side, we had to give genuine passes on one side, we had to ensure ambulances take people there, and we had to, because kidney for the dialysis patients were being used by us over there, no trains were running, no airplanes were also over there. And in between, you see, Bangalore is a metropolitan city
Absolutely.
and it has a big airport also over there. So a lot of foreigners were being called to Bangalore, and from here they were being flown outside. So that management had to become Ashwini, my DCP intelligence, who is SP Mandya. When intelligence played a very, very important role at that time. So she was completely handling the international affairs over there. And all the international calls which used to come, sir, my father is alone, my mother is alone over there. So we had to go give them medicines over there, get food over there. And then we had put them some this Swiggy, Zomato and all these food delivery people that, look, these are the sensitive houses over there. If you don't get food anywhere else, go to the police station, pack food and go and give it over there. So, and in between what used to happen, everyday meetings. So morning I used to go, the CM would yell at Bhaskar, where is the lockdown? People are moving around everywhere and there is no lockdown at all over there. I used to again say, then I used to come on the wall and tighten a little bit. By 11 o'clock, CM would again yell at me, should people not breathe? What is this going on? Is this a police raja or what something around? Then ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ 3 o'clock ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ Okay. So after a point of time we devised that, okay, he is entitled to his because he is himself subject to so much of pressure over there. So we just did what we had to do over there. Our biggest challenge was to keep people indoors as well as to ensure that supply of essentials are going on. And madam, I am sure it must have come to notice there was no instance of price rise anywhere or black marketing because we had ensured that. For that I had kept my DCP Divya Sara Thomas in charge of all trucks coming inside the city, keeping all that. And apart from that I had kept my four DCPs only to ensure social distancing and masking in the markets over there. So Russell Market, this market we got it shifted to National College Ground. We said we put big markers over there. You all sit here and Russell Market we shifted to RBNM grounds. Then similarly the Kengeri Market we shifted it to along the entire road over there. APMC we made huge amount of every morning we used to be in APMC. The DCP North Shashi Kumar, who is Commissioner of Police, he was my DCP in North. You personally be there every morning. My boys and girls were working 18-19 hours a day, 18-19 hours a day from the 24th or 23rd of April up to July. And you had no time to fall sick, no time to complain also. And my only job was to move around to ensure that my boys and girls, and people were very good. I used to get thousands of dabbas of juice, biscuits, water, masks, which I distributed to all my police. Then we were seeing visuals of how people were being beaten up. We took a vow. I told my DCPs, I want all the lathis to be kept in the police. No lathi. Why people said that if you don't take away your lathi, it is as good as disrobing us over there. But nothing doing, no lathi. So they had to yell, shout, but that because you know how people behave also. So we had a lathi-less policing up till the 3rd of May. When government decided that liquor also can be open, because people were getting restless.
You should see the
I'll tell you,
lines
madam,
there.
the distribution of milk created 10 times more chaos than the distribution of liquor. The liquor people were very disciplined.
Absolutely, they
All are
stood in
disciplined.
line.
ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ಸರ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಅವಸರ ತಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸರ್. Whereas for milk distribution, it was a big tamasha over there. Both women, children, men. But when liquor came, everybody was so disciplined when liquor. We thought more problem is there in liquor. But I tell you, then finally I removed all the bandobast from liquor and I concentrated only on milk distribution. Milk distribution was a bigger problem than alcohol distribution.
So you went wrong there.
Yeah, we went terribly wrong over there. We thought alcohol will create a lot of people will get drunk and all those things. Means the young, the old, the girls, the women, everybody was on the
So I
line.
want to ask you a question, Bhaskar here. Amount of work your people did, police did, was more non-police work than police
It was totally
work. Isn't it?
non-police, see, ma'am, because see when you clamp a section 144, because I had to, after the Epidemic Act I had to clamp a 144. See, what do you do when you say that get all your lathis, get your TG, get your weapons, get your body protectors, hit and beat everybody who is visible. Can you do all this?
You can't do
Can
it.
you shoot? Can you use tear gas against the people at that time of time? And most important was that all these daily wagers were becoming jobless. And this is where the spirit of the city, every day I had a lot of people from Rotary, Lions, Rajasthan Association, Jain Association, Muslims Association, numerous Christians Association over there, bringing food for the destitute over there. So So we had to facilitate that also. And some of these smart guys, they will have 8 or 10 food packets in their Mercedes Benz and say we are distributing food. I have seized more than 25 Mercedes Benz we seized for all the kind of smart cookies. All they would bluff. And the city had 800 checkposts we had, and we had put prominent banners, as you mentioned, that COVID is on, stay indoors, and if you are found loitering around without a valid reason, you will be prosecuted, both in Kannada and English. And then we had a lot of plays, skits, writing on the ground. Means we had to do attention diversion tactics to relax people's stress. Most important was that I had to reduce the stress of my own people. I never got angry at any of them. Any mistake is okay. And I had to tell my people that the 21,000 constables of Bangalore city are the police commissioner of police. You are the commissioner. If you are standing behind a barricade, think you are the commissioner of police. Take a decision the way I am going to take a decision, because I cannot keep on micromanaging you. People will come with all kinds of different. You use your own judgment over that. So that was, and my job was only to go meet them, have lunch with them, dinner with them, and spend time with them. I used to brief the CM and DG and all this. Apart, otherwise my job was to go and move on and keep the media briefed over there, and then give some general instructions over there.
So, but looking at COVID, we've almost spent an hour on COVID itself. But the importance is that as a pandemic, I think many of the people have not actually seen the rat pandemic. But this pandemic has really been almost like the Spanish flu in 1914. So many of us were not born during that time. And looking at this pandemic, people will never forget this pandemic because it's very, very huge.
We lived through it happened in our lifetime.
That is one thing. And secondly, this is a kind of a novel virus. So this novel virus means it's actually a man-made virus. So this is almost like bioterrorism. Keeping this aside and knowing you to be a very patriarchal person, a person who has come up with a lot of women empowerment in you, and I have always been fighting for women empowerment, and you've come with a lot of ideas of women empowerment and environment protection. Going to this women empowerment, what are the things you've actually brought in to sensitize public against women empowerment?
Though my family members were in the armed forces with macho pride and all, my great grandmother and my grandmother and my mother and my wife and my daughter have impacted my thinking and method of working very much over there. On account of which I have been with pride, I say, a practitioner of upholding women's rights or giving them opportunities wherever it is possible.